Okay, so in this video, I am going to show how to export and import a test or an exam from one Blackboard course to another. This may come in handy when, let's say in the fall 2020, you're teaching a course that's pretty much the same as something that you taught in spring 2020, and the exam is more or less the same. Or even if the exam is not exactly the same, but maybe there are some questions from the exam that you want to use, or maybe there's a structure that you've created for the test in 2020 which you want to just import and then add or edit that exam further, you can use this option. You can't use this option to create a completely new test. So this is only for transferring an existing test or existing structure of a test from one course to another. So the examples that I'm using here are courses that I teach, or a course that I teach called HUEC 210 Retail Management, and I have two tabs open here in my on my browser. One is for the Spring 2020 course, which is where I'm exporting the test from, and this is my course in Fall 2019. This is where I'm exporting the test to. Of course, chronologically it doesn't make sense. Usually it would be the other way, but I'm just using this as an example because we don't yet have access to our Fall 2020 courses on Blackboard. Okay, so I'm going to go to the course where I need to export the test from, and this is, I'm on my home page, and when I scroll down on the left you see course tools. Usually it's not expanded, it's like this, so when you click on course tools it expands, and you see the link called tests, surveys and pools at the bottom. Click on that, then click on tests. Okay, so this lists all of the different exams that I have already created for this course. What I'm wanting to do is I'm actually wanting to export exam number 4 from this course and import it into the other course. So I click on this down arrow button, and it shows me basically two options to export. I'm gonna go through each of these options and explain how they are useful and how they're different. As far as how long it takes to do either of these options, it's kind of pretty much the same, or more or less the same, but just the process of where the file gets saved is really where the difference is. In export to content collection, the file gets exported and saved on Blackboard. So here you see this content collection tab. Everybody should have this available, or all faculty should have this available. So when you click on that content collection, it will actually show you all of the different content that you've saved in the past semesters, all of the courses or the semesters that our institutional policy allows for archiving our course content. So you may not be able to see something from 2016 because we don't archive that far back, I believe, at least as far as my knowledge goes. So let's try this option first. Okay, content collection. I'm going to click on export to content collection first, and then it's going to give me an option to browse to where I want to save it within Blackboard. And right now it's directly taking me into HUEC 210 Spring 2020 course, and I could basically just choose to save it in the course. But if it takes you somewhere else, I'll just show you how you can just navigate up. You click on this up arrow looking thing. You click on that, it takes you back to the different courses that you have access to through content collection. Like I said, right now I can only see as far back as spring 2019. I can't see fall 2018, so this might just be our organizational archival policy or something. So that's why saving it in content collection has that limitation that, you know, there might come a time when access to that particular year's content might have expired. So I'm just going to go into HUEC 210 Spring 2020. That's where I want to save my file. And it shows that there's already an automatic folder that's been created for me for imported content. And it seems like it was created today. So I didn't create this, so I'm guessing this was automatically created by Blackboard. So you click on this. So you don't have to go to save it on this folder. If you click on this arrow right here, you can just choose to save it in this open broad folder right here. But I'm actually going to choose this particular folder to drop the file. In fact, actually, sorry about that. I'm going to go back and I'm going to select this button right here, this circular check button. Well, I check that and then I click submit. Okay, and then I hit on submit again. And now it should tell me that export has been successful. Okay, so now I've exported the exam from one course. So now you go to the other tab, which is the course where I want to import the exam into. So I scroll down, go back into under course tools, click on course tools and click on tests. Click on tests again. And now you see here, I only have 3 exams, so that's why I'm importing my 4th exam. You click on import test. And now click on browse content collection and click this arrow button to go back to see all of your courses. And HUEC 210 Spring 2020, if you remember, is where I saved the file. Click on that and I click on this imported content folder that was automatically created for me, which is where I dropped it. And now if you click on this, it will actually open the zip file or open the file, and you don't necessarily need that at this point. Unless you want to save it into your computer. You can just click on this checkbox again and hit submit and hit submit again. Okay, so it says it has been processed. It might show you some warning. As long as the test is imported, we should be okay. So to see that, we're going to go into content in our course or whatever other tab you might have created. So some people might have created a tab here called exam or tests just for a location where students know where to find the tests. In the past semesters, I've used just content, just to have all of my content in one place. This was pre-COVID-19, where we didn't have to teach fully online. So so what I'm going to do is click on assessment, just like how you would create a test on Blackboard. Assessment, and click test. And you see here, the course has actually been imported. If you hadn't imported the course, if you hadn't imported the course, you wouldn't actually see it here. So I'm going to click on. So if you hadn't imported the course, you wouldn't actually see it here. So what I'm going to do is click on submit. So there you go, it takes me to the course options, test options, so I can just go into the course name and actually change the dates or whatever you want to change the name. So this is where you've now imported the test and it's allowing you to edit the test and the test options. The one thing that you would notice actually when you import a test that Blackboard doesn't allow you to edit is this test instructions. Okay. This is this sort of a feature of Blackboard or lack of the feature of Blackboard to be able to edit that. So what I would do if your instructions are somehow changing, my instructions are usually steady because it's just talking about, make sure that you have an internet connection, and once you hit begin, there's just basic instructions giving students. But in some cases, if your instruction is customized to that semester or some other content that you want to add to the instruction, you want to change that in the source. So in the course that you actually are exporting the file from, before you export it, make that change in the in that course, in the test there, and then when you import it, those changes would come in here. Okay. So here you can go ahead and you can change whatever content you want here and create your test option just the way you would with a new test. All of the options remain the same at this point, right? And then once you click on submit, your test will be available. Now you can obviously go in there, click on the arrow and edit the test, right? To change your questions, delete some questions, edit some questions, add new questions, whatever you want to do, you're able to do here. Okay. So now I'll show you the other option of exporting. I'm going to go back to the home page of the other course and go take it again from the first step. Click on course tools, tests, surveys, pools, click on tests. Now we're going to see how we can export to the local computer. So if you want to, I personally prefer choosing this option because I know if I export it into my local computer, which just gets linked to my cloud, that information or that data is going to permanently stay with me, and I don't have to worry about, you know, putting it in content collection and at some date the archive expiring or losing that content because of some sort of a policy changing or something like that. So I would go to local, export to local computer, and it opens up where you want to download it. So you can you know, put it in download, for instance. I'm just going to click on, actually let me put it in documents. You can change your name however you want, so that you can identify it easier. Okay, HUEC 210 exam number 4, save. Okay, it's saved. Now I go to my destination course, go back down to course tools and tests, surveys and pools, click on tests. Now obviously the course is already imported, so let me just delete it. Okay, I just went and deleted that, and I'm going to import the test all over again, but this time instead of clicking on browse content collection, I'm going to browse my computer. Go to where I saved it. It's in documents, documents somewhere in my computer. Okay, it must be here. Okay, there you go. HUEC 210 4. It's a zip file, and you can just let it be a zip file. You don't have to unzip it, because that's how Blackboard recognizes the file. It unzips and it automatically imports the file, and then you submit. Okay, very good. Same, the package has been processed. Now go back to content. I'm gonna go back again to creating a test. Okay, see, my course has been imported here. Submit. And then I do the same. And again, here too, again, that limitation still exists, that you can't edit the test instructions. But again, if you want to do that in your source file before you export it from that course. And then you know, you can change all of the information that you want. Change, you know, the availability time, how much time you or when you want to open and close the test, and all of that, you know, specifications, and then submit. And then you can go back down and change the test the way you want it to. So this is how you would export and import tests in Blackboard between two courses.